Radio.
Absolute Radio.
How'd you like them apples?
Nice.
Oh, hello. Didn't see you there. This is a Not the Weekend podcast. I'm Frank Skinner. Yeah, remember me? And, you know, like the 90s, football, swearing.
Oh, I like that. You say that as if you haven't been on every programme on telly for the last 3 months or 6 months or whatever it is.
Well, that's me.
From the 90s, from yesterday.
Mr. Humble, that's me. Kate Humble, they call me. Some people. I'm with Alan Cochrane, the Cockerel. And I'm with... oh, no, you've switched... I can't hear myself speak now.
That was my big Martine McCutcheon moment,
yes,
and it's been ruined.
It's gone. It's gone. Producer messing about. I hate that.
You could do it now, can't you?
I can't do it now. You know when the moment's gone.
I do know about when the moment's gone.
Okay, I know the moment's gone. Can you please introduce me, though, at least?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh, yeah, and Emily Dean's here as well.
Oh, that's nice. Lovely, that is.
So, what about this? I went for a walk. I talked to the tree. I went for a walk. Sound like it's going to be a blues song. It isn't. With my girlfriend. Kath,
Lovely.
I call her.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know what the producer is doing? She's hovering. I wouldn't mind if she was hoovering, but she's hovering.
Someone else is doing that
Is
upstairs.
something wrong? Have you got a problem?
No, I just want me to check the time.
You want to check the time?
Yeah.
I think what you need to do is ask a policeman.
Frank, have you got a problem? It's all gone a bit taxi driver. Can I ask you something?
You talking to me?
How's it gone a bit like that?
Your fringe has changed, by the way.
Oh.
You've moved it into
You've changed.
You've moved it into a bit of a Jennifer Aniston.
Do you know why? I can't be bothered to have Botox, and it covers wrinkles.
That's a brilliant idea,
Yes.
isn't it?
Maybe I need to grow my hair back.
I
and
just
get
think
some of this
Botox is
fringe
expensive and disfiguring. I'm not going down
it's
that
a bit
road.
late for me. I'm going to have to get a throw. And I just, like a big throw. I just put on it. Maybe a Venetian blinds.
Yeah. Get a big fringe.
Yeah.
Phil Spector might have some wigs going spare.
It does.
I'm not
It
using
looks,
them.
it suits you though. It's good. I like them. You looked in the mirror and thought, I'm going to move my part in. I love it when people make a big hair decision. When Cliff
during
Richard,
a podcast.
I remember Cliff Richard went from quiff to Beatle fringe, and then said, "Oh well, what happened was I came out of the sea and my hair was all down on my face, and I thought, well, I'll just leave it like that." And I thought, no, you didn't think that because it would be down to your chin. With the big quiff on Phil.
At least
a lot
mine
of
is.
hair in a quiff.
At least mine is honest. Botox avoidance.
Yeah.
Broken Britain haven't got the cash for it at the moment. Frank,
It's a lovely story.
can I ask you something then? So with Kath, because she's obviously...
I think Cliff he just consists of Botox. There is nothing else to Cliff.
She's got a lovely bump at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean... Is she still fond of a walk? Does she get tired? Does she tire easily?
She does.
Oh.
She walks a bit slow for my liking. You know, I am a man who likes to put on a sprint when I'm walking. She's she's about 7 months pregnant now, and I got to be straight with it. It slowed her down. Yeah. I can't work it out. You know, the bumping cars, they're erratic, if anything. If anything, they get faster.
Yeah.
And that's what she's
They're
taken
certainly
on.
harder to control and steer, aren't they?
Oh, well, she's certainly harder to control and steer, but she was quite hard to control and steer. Anyway, we went out, and it was raining.
Yeah.
So, obviously, I put up an umbrella. That's what people do when it rains.
Oh, no.
And she went, oh... Which I would say is her catchphrase.
Catchphrase?
Yeah, her catchphrase. Oh, the amount of times I hear that. And I said, I knew what it was because she's made this point before, she's anti-umbrella. I said, come on, it's raining too heavy to just... And then there was a bit of a gust of wind and the umbrella tremor. And she went, oh, you nearly blinded me then. I said, no, it didn't go anywhere near. It nearly you scratched my nose with it. I definitely didn't touch her nose with it. Absolutely She said, wait now, wait, you'll see the scratch will come up on my nose. I said, okay, I'm prepared to wait.
And you had a standoff.
Yeah,
Just
so we
staring at her.
waited. Didn't. There was no scratch. Didn't
Wasn't there?
emerge. And then it went into the... So you're accusing me of lying now? You're saying it didn't touch my nose? And it all got very difficult. But I sense now from your response, Cockerell, that you're actually with Kath on
I'm
it.
totally with Kath.
Really?
Are
I
you?
can't bear umbrellas. They do my head in. And my relationship almost mirrors yours, where my wife opens one and I will go in a little huff and walk behind her or something, because... Yeah, people that open
You
umbrellas...
shelter under a little huff.
No, but people that open umbrellas... There's something about the act of opening an umbrella that robs a human being of their spatial awareness, and they immediately start bumping into particularly people's faces with the umbrella. And fundamentally, humans are waterproof. So it's irrelevant doing it. Like, just wear a good coat, or... Like, you don't dissolve,
I quite like
you?
a little umbrella tussle. It's a bit Ben-Hur. When you suddenly...
It is a bit Ben-Hur.
I only have a little...
It's like being Boudica.
I don't like a golfing umbrella. You know those big businessmen?
No, well, I agree. That's too much in the street.
I think you should be taxed on that. I think
Yeah.
that's like mansion
Golf
tax or
umbrella
something.
tax.
That's fair enough.
Kath said to me, get a cagoule. It's not antisocial. Which is true. I've never heard that said of a cagoule. But
She's right.
I do this thing when I pass people and I've got my umbrella. I hold the umbrella really high. My arm goes to full length, and I hold the umbrella so high it couldn't possibly scratch anyone.
Do you look like you're leading a pack of a tour guide?
I look
I
like
think it's quite
massive umbrella.
Magritte painting, I like to think.
I look like Mary Poppins, just about to take off. Yeah, but that's how you do it. You can be a bit careful about it, I think.
Well, it doesn't sound like you were, though, does it?
Well, it did not touch her face.
I would say if she thinks it did, that's enough. 'Cause
Is
you
it?
you don't want to be walking alongside a person who might have touched your
No.
face and they don't know it. It sort of proves that your spatial awareness wasn't quite bob on, doesn't it?
What about when they turn upside down with a cheapy one? God, that's
Oh,
depressing.
that's the
That's so
other thing.
humiliating. That's happened to me. Someone's, been wearing nice
When it blows
clothes,
inside
got my
out.
look together, and then the umbrella goes inside out. What was the point in wearing nice things
They
today?
don't work. That's another thing
So
about them that annoys me.
humiliating.
They do not work.
I love the umbrella inside out.
Do you?
Because what I do is I just walk back into the wind and it just blows it back again, and you feel like I can cope with anything now.
So you lower it and...
I turn it around with it. I don't try and get it back myself. I just turn around with it all blown up and turn around. It just blows back down again into position.
Frank, can I ask you a question? Do you favour the sort of... It's almost like a gun action, really. You know when you have the little plastic button?
Yeah.
I don't like that because it can be temperamental and it can break. I like the old-fashioned, just push it up yourself.
I know what you mean. Don't you feel terribly sad when you walk past a bin and there's an umbrella in it? You know, when you see
I
it
feel
like
happy.
Do you?
It makes me happy.
Oh, no.
I'd like to see like 10 umbrellas in a bin as I walk past. You know, you say it's like a gun. There's actually a school of thought that during the JFK assassination,
Oh, yeah.
there's a figure in the background called Umbrella Man, and they believe that he might have fired a dart at JFK because the technology existed at the time for
From an umbrella?
Yeah, to shoot from an umbrella.
But
Because
it
this
was,
guy in the background.
it was a very sunny day.
It was a really hot day, and there's a guy in the back with an umbrella up just as JFK goes
Is
by.
that-
and then he
Cockle,
pulls it
you
back
solved
down,
this
puts it back
case.
up.
It's been going on for
Oh,
years.
no, believe me, there are pages and pages about this online if you're
Really?
interested.
Really?
Yeah, there's a figure called Umbrella Man.
And was
For the
he
conspiracy theorists.
was he on the grassy knoll?
No, he was along a bit with another
Oh.
guy
Oh.
who's...
That was the VIP area.
Exactly. There was a velvet rope round the grassy knoll.
I would have been there.
Sorry, are you one of the assassination? I'm not. No, sorry, you can't come in here.
I believe a guy came forward saying he was the Umbrella Man, and they're not sure.
I don't believe him.
Someone turned up, they looked at their laminate and they say, "Oh, you're assassination team, but I'm afraid you're book depository window, not grassy knoll. You're in the wrong place." Jeff, can you see this man up to book depository window? Okay. Okay, I'll phone Lee, tell him we're coming up. Okay, brilliant.
Only.
It's like Live 8 in the Golden Circle all over again. I've never been so stiff with stress.
I just think they're brilliant. I see what's nice about them is that it's a nice way of sort of being a bit secret. If you hold them a little bit low over your face, people can't see your face. It's nice.
Oh, I don't even like that. I don't even like a pulled-down cap. I don't like people to not know that I can see where I'm going. If somebody's walking towards me and I can't see their eyes, I think, how do I know you're going to evade me? Do you know what I mean?
How are you with sunglasses?
I'm all right with them, but that's because usually I think they can see through them. Maybe if you get an umbrella that is transparent, yeah, they're all right. Actually, transparent umbrellas.
I once saw an umbrella that had a window in the front, like a plastic see-through window.
Now that seems
That's
like
good.
progress.
But that's still spiky on the edges.
It's been a
You've
long
got to
time
get around
coming,
that.
I hate those spikes.
As
Yeah,
you
I
know,
hate the spike.
I invested heavily in the umbrella hat, thinking that was going to completely take over from the handheld. Yeah, I thought when I saw one, I thought, well, that's it. That's it for handheld umbrellas. We'll never see them again. We'll keep a couple of handheld umbrellas because in 20 years' time, no one will remember they existed.
Yeah.
Didn't catch on. Looked a certainty to me, the umbrella hat.
I saw it in the Innovations catalogue.
Yeah.
That's one of your favourites, I know.
I've got one.
I've got one.
I've got one. Yeah, I honestly have. And now I've red umbrella hat. Well, the hat is a sort of it's flesh-coloured. It looks like it's growing, emanating from my skull. But I honestly thought, it's one of my great bugbears. I cannot work out why the umbrella hat didn't. I thought it'd be like when the automatic gearbox was invented, you know.
That people would stop going manual.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but no.
You know you're going to get a wooden full-size rocking horse from that listener that's emailed offering it. I think you should perhaps do a swap.
Give him my umbrella hat.
Give him your umbrella hat or one of the other items in your house that has come up on the show.
But I got to admit that it's part of me that still thinks the umbrella hat is going to...
You were in early.
It's going to... Yeah, it's going to... And then I'll have the frustration of saying, I was saying this about umbrella hats. Oh, yeah, sure you were. I did. I have had one for years. I've always said they were brilliant. Anyway...
You've aligned yourself with Steve McLaren, really, by your love for the umbrella.
That's
not-
true. I hadn't thought of that.
It's not a good idea.
What,
is
the Wally with the brolly?
it? Wally with the brolly.
Well, there was no danger of him having anyone's eye out, because no one would go within 20 yards of
wasn't
him.
near him. He was in his
a
technical
he was a
area, wasn't
pariah.
Mm.
Pariah Carey, they called him. That's what they called him, as far as I know.
Oh, well, Frank, I'm sorry you had a run-in with an umbrella.
I didn't.
Oh.
That's my point.
It's not the only inanimate object I hate. I hate loads of inanimate objects.
What else do you hate?
I at the moment, I'm growing increasingly concerned about my wallet. I'm starting to hate it.
You're not the only one, love.
Getting a big George Costanza-style wallet that it's bulky and
Who is George Costanza?
Is
He's
he-
on Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
There's an episode where he's got a really fat wallet and it's giving him backache because he's sitting on it. It's a famous episode of
No,
Seinfeld.
I'm not one of these people who say it's like that episode of Seinfeld where
All right,
there's a whole...
I am.
Yeah. Or people who say, oh, this is like that... what's that thing with Larry David?
Curb Your
Yeah.
Enthusiasm.
Oh, this is like that Curb Your Enthusiasm, isn't it? When you... those are the two things I think people
Yeah.
mainly use as examples. Episodes of Seinfeld and episodes of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Don't put Cockrell in some Venn diagram
I'm putting him
generalisation.
in the America's Best Venn diagram.
That'll do.
That's okay.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hotel remote controls, I loathe them quite often. You know when you're in a hotel and you want to just bob the telly on, and sometimes you have to press OK like 10 times before you get to be... You think, my life's ebbing away here while I just keep pressing yes TV menu, yes channels list, yes whatever else it is. And then you just go, all this just to see a bit of the one show before my gig, or whatever.
You see, I don't really watch the telly in a hotel. I haven't got the heart to turn off Welcome, Mr. Skinner on the screen.
You're kidding.
I love Welcome. I thought, how lovely, it's on like a screen.
No.
This is the 21st century, so
No.
yeah.
I like that. I like when they do the montage of the hotel amenities.
Oh,
A little bit of music
I
playing.
hate having to go through that every single time I put the telly on.
I watch that 24/7. It's never off.
Really?
love it.
You two are strange.
There's all sorts of restraints. I was in a hotel and they had, what would it be? I think it was tell you how long ago it was. This Chronicle of Riddick. Remember that?
No.
It's a sci-fi movie. And I thought, I'd really like to see that. It was on there sort of, ones when you press. But I thought, if I go and on the bill it says movie, no one in the world is going to think that I watched a sci-fi movie. They're going to think I've watched Smot. So in the end I didn't watch it. So I was prevented from watching a perfectly reasonable film by the decadence of others.
And also your reputation from various bits of your previous stand-up.
Well,
I
that's also
suspect.
true. The Decadence of Others is the title of my new book, which I urge you all to buy.
That conversation, is that over? I found it stressful. I'll tell you what I hate, guys, is drinking glasses. I find... No, hear me out on this.
Okay.
I actually dread sometimes getting a glass out of the cupboard. If I think, like, I'll have some apple juice, okay?
Let's say.
Let's say, not vodka. Then I think, I weigh it up. I think, can I be bothered? Because this is what has to happen. You have to get the glass out, then I pour it. Then when I can't put it in the dishwasher, because it leaves a kind of Alka-Seltzer residue all over
what is
it.
that?
Yes, which is all smeary. Often Alka-Seltzer in my case, to be fair. But so I can't bear that.
It's like it frosts.
Yes,
the
so I have to
glasses.
do it by hand. So then I have to wash it. Can't have the water too hot because then it might smash the glass. Then I have to put the washing up liquid. Then the drying. Do you know how long it takes to dry a glass by hand?
I think it's
No.
8.5 minutes. Is that right?
But that's a lot of time.
Is it 8.5 minutes? That was a guess.
It probably takes me about 6
To dry a glass.
to get all the smears out. I want it smear free. I'm a bit phobic about smears on glasses.
Really?
I don't
So
like
do you
it.
just drink apple juice straight out the carton with the fridge door open?
I have
Is that-
sometimes, yes.
Yeah, that's
That's
the
better,
obvious.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's how I eat a lot of meat, just with the fridge door open and just my face half in.
Really?
Yeah, that's how I do quite a lot of my eating.
You'd have been a great lion. If I lived alone, I don't think I'd ever use a glass at all. I'd drink everything straight out the bottle. when I was in my dark alcoholic years, I used to get up in the morning and drink water straight out the tap because my hands were too shaky to hold a glass.
Is that true?
Yeah. Absolute radio. Yeah. Oh, you never hear Christian O'Connell say stuff like that, do you?
Absolute Radio.
Frank Skinner on Absolute Radio.
So, Frank, this week I had a bit of a bonding experience with my niece Mimi. And I decided I was going to share with her one of my favourite films, which is Ferris Bueller, which I'm sure you both are familiar with.
Yes.
It's
Who
a great
isn't?
film. Well, exactly. It's a great film.
In fact, my girlfriend's sister, Rachel, looks exactly like the girl in Ferris
Yes, she
Bueller.
does.
She really does.
She does. Mia Sara, I believe her name is, and she was married to Jason Connery and Robin of Sherwood.
Oh.
Wow.
Mia Sara. Oh, no, so that's Mia Culpa. Carry on.
So we sat down to watch Ferris Bueller, and without-
Mimi hadn't seen it before.
No,
How lovely to show children
Yeah.
the films of yesteryear.
that's what I thought. We had our little slanky things on,
Yeah.
and
I look forward to sitting down with my child and watching D.W. Griffith's Birth of a Nation. It's about the rise of the Ku Klux Klan, amongst other things. They have to learn. You can't bury your head in the sand. Carry on.
and next week we're watching Nazis: A Warning from History.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, her request, not mine.
There is a colour version of that. The kids, they won't tolerate the black and white. Man. World War II in colour. It's not all Nazis, but obviously they feature heavily.
Oh, they.
How
they
else
do.
are they going to feature? What, lightly? Whimsically?
So, as you know, Ferris is obviously a bit of a cultural icon, isn't he?
Warning's a bit of an overstatement.
I'm trying to talk about Ferris Bueller and you're going on about Nazis.
What about the Nazis? A raised eyebrow from history.
A quizzical look from history.
The Nazis, a hint from history.
Okay, so
Playful wink. Carry on.
we're sitting there watching Ferris Bueller, and then I had a terrible, terrible epiphany whilst I was watching it.
That comes with age.
Well, it does, Frank, because I realised something. I found myself sympathising and actually feeling very moved by the plight of the socially responsible headmaster and all the authority figures. And I hated Ferris and his friends. I thought they were horrible, unpleasant people. Hey, man, we killed the car. Isn't that cool? That's not cool. That father spent
Destructive. Yeah.
Yes. And they're trying to skip school, and he's trying to educate them, that headmaster.
Do you know, I had a very similar experience with Schindler's List.
I still haven't seen that. This isn't going to be a spoiler alert, is it?
No, it's
No,
still quite bleak. You won't like it.
no.
It's black and white as well, isn't it?
Except for a red
yes,
coat or
there's-
something, isn't there? Is there just a red
Yes,
coat?
there's a
in
red
it?
coat
That's-
at the end.
Yeah,
that much I know.
Kids won't watch the black and white.
Sarah the Poisoner held her thumbs aloft, which is the first time I've ever seen anyone do that at the mention of Schindler's List.
No, you're quite right. No, it's as you can imagine, it's quite a bleak story.
Yes. But it was a strange transition, that, for me, because it was for the first time that I was actually aware I'm proper authority now. I'm establishment. I hate those kids. I hate their attitudes. I hate their irresponsibility. I hate their arrogance.
It's an interesting. I'm calling it a sea change, even though I'm not totally sure what that is. Is it short for chord change?
Yeah.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Okay. Someone will know. Listen.
Well, surely it's the sea's going back out rather than.
Is that what
back
it
in.
means?
Presumably, I'm guessing.
Okay.
Sea change, yeah.
Is it spelled SEA?
I thought so.
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
This is an interesting bit. Now, these are my favourite bits. You see, I'm not a man who can let things pass in conversation. If somebody says something I don't quite know what it means, and I've probably used that phrase myself, but I don't know. I don't know what it means. I don't know what it means.
Sea change.
I don't know what it means. That's how I would have done it, like 40 years ago. That's how I would have responded.
There's a ringing in my ears from that now.
Yeah, well, you get used
I
to it.
also find myself identifying with I'm going to call her, she's the sort of thick calves that are featured in Tom and Jerry.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
She used to be called Mammy Two Shoes, but I don't
Did
think
she?
that's allowed anymore. No.
Did she? I
Yes.
never knew she had a name.
Yes, she did. It was Mammy Two Shoes.
She's the one who goes, Thomas?
Yeah, she
That
says
one.
Thomas. But I'd actually like to know more about her, because I'd like to know more. No, but I'd like to. She's quite an interesting character. She's trying to run a house.
Yeah, exactly.
Didn't they make a film of her recently called The Help? Was that it? Was it
No.
not that?
Is that how they made the help? The camera finally panned up to see.
I haven't seen it.
I suppose you're right, though. That's how society has progressed. That in the
Yeah.
old days, we just saw her feet. All there was
Yeah.
she was some sort of cipher.
Yes.
But now, as you say, she's centre stage,
I'd
and
like to
that's
know-
progress.
I'd like to have known her internal monologue. I don't care about the cat.
Yeah,
Instead, we have to hear about the cat all the time.
I like stripy.
Mammy Two
Stripy
Shoes.
sock.
Well, I always imagined with that woman that they were knee socks.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
It makes me think of Last of the Summer Wine, where he goes, "Oh, them wrinkled stockings." Do you
Yeah,
remember
but
that?
those they were taught her stuff.
Frank, you don't happen
Yeah.
to know one of the senior members of crew involved on Tom and Jerry, do you?
I know the producer was Fred Quimby.
I love that. That's his party trick.
No, it's
He knows the producer. Don't you think that's brilliant? He knows
it's
the
one
name.
of those things. You know,
What, you actually know him? Or
I
No,
don't know
he just
him.
knows the name.
we once did a thing about how trivial information sticks in the mind, and producer Fred Quimby from the Tom and Jerry's
Oh, yeah.
always lived with me.
So I know Dallas, executive producer Philip Capice, that kind of thing.
Oh,
I never liked Jerry much.
No, Jerry was the mouse.
No, that was a quote from Schindler's List. No, I never liked Jerry. I tell you what, Jerry was the most naked of the cartoon characters.
Oh,
I
really?
thought.
No.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of cartoon characters are naked or semi-naked. I think Yogi Bear wore a collar and tie and a hat.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yes.
But he was completely naked, but also he stood like you do when you're naked.
Oh, okay.
He was, yeah. I felt the embarrassment of nearby nudity from
Well,
Jerry.
in art history, that's the difference between nude and naked, isn't it? So he was naked as opposed to nude.
Yes, he was definitely naked. Whereas Tom was also naked, but you know what I mean? It wasn't in your face.
So he would have been nude rather than
Yes,
naked.
nude,
not
Tom's
naked.
nude and Jerry's naked.
Jerry stood in a sort of provocative fashion.
People have written essays about this, haven't they?
Have
somewhere?
they? Probably.
They
Yeah,
must have done.
he would lean. He's one of those. He'd put an elbow on the skirting board and stand with like a crossed leg.
Right.
Oh, like those girls in the sun, I know, with a glass of champagne.
Yeah, he was very come hither. I thought. Jerry.
Come in.
I can imagine shots of Jerry and Lucy Pinder on a yacht hosing each other down after sunbathing. Yeah, there was something weird about him. I think my moment when I realised I I basically got older, because I hate to say it, this is what's happened.
You're right, Frank.
I hate to bring it up in such a bold way, but that's true. Was when I met, I was single at the time, and I met a very attractive woman in a bar, and she said, you know, we were talking, and she said, you know, I think we should spend more time together. You know, we should meet up. And I thought, well, this is tremendous news. And she said, I think you could be my Mr. Miyagi. If you remember, is the guy from Karate Kid. And she said you could sort of teach me about life. I didn't like the sound of that much. Not at all, I didn't mind. Yeah, and I backed off quite quickly. But when I watch Karate Kid, I see myself as Karate Kid.
Oh, right.
But now, if I watched it now, I think
see.
I'm face to face with Miyagi.
You're in a different casting bracket, and
Yeah, I
you
am.
don't like it.
Yeah, in the same way that I'm one of the staff members at Rydell High now.
Yeah. Yeah.
No Rizzo for me.
No, I think that's probably true.
I've seen the A-Team, and I often worry about when they give B.A. Baracus some food that's got drugs in it, and so that he can fly. I often think, I hope they've been careful about the administration of these drugs, because if it's that quick acting, if they've given him too much, it could easily kill him.
I know.
Sometimes they don't even give him drugs; they just crack him on the back of the head with a spanner.
Yeah.
And you think,
Ridiculous. I think because he's a big man, there's a feeling that his constitution will take anything, and you know, as we saw with the great John Belushi. That's simply not
do
true.
you think his friends were trying to get him on a plane?
I think they were, yeah.
Go on,
Well, I don't
have some
think
more, John.
They actually,
We want to go to New Orleans.
they were trying to get him to fly, I think, certainly. They were trying to use him as a plane.
Was that his only sort of character arc, that he wasn't going on no plane?
He wore jewellery.
Oh, yeah, yes. How silly of me.
And he was
Yeah.
hard.
Yes.
He was physically tough.
Yeah, he was tough, and he wore a lot of jewellery, and he wouldn't get on a plane. That's Nancy DeLolio. 2 out of 3. I think she will get on a plane at the drop of a hat.
Yeah.
But other than that, her and
She won't turn right, though.
her and Mr. T, they're like peas in a pod.
Frank, we've had some emails in.
Oh, I love it when we get the emails in. It's my favourite bit.
Well, Cockerell, this is email about flowers, someone who's buying his wife flowers or not.
I said recently on the show that I have never bought my wife flowers.
I remember that. I was
You were
shocked.
aghast, weren't you? You were aghast. But no, we've had an email in.
I was aghast on my own show.
Yeah, from very good. From Stephen Gosling, he starts his email with "What's going on, fellas?" ? Stephen here in Washington DC, originally from Stockport. Glad not to be there anymore.
Is he in Washington DC?
Stockport is an area of Greater Manchester that's actually quite good. I like it. It's got an excellent viaduct and an Adidas sale shop.
Oh, well, I once...
I really
funny you
like.
should say that. I once went to the Adidale... Adidale? Adidale is the Yorkshire version of Adidas. I went to the Adidas Health Centre and had one of those, you know, those fitness tests that last about 2.5 hours.
Oh, yeah.
You had to put a big, like, pipe in your mouth, and I don't mean like a meerschaum. I mean like a... Oh,
That doesn't sound like a fitness
no,
centre.
yeah, not a pipe in your mouth. You have to read a newspaper while sitting in a leather Chesterfield. It's a weird old fitness. I don't know what was I fit for, gentleman's club? No, I had to run on a very high gradient
An
running
incline,
machine.
like a hill. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
and with a tube in my mouth and all things stuck to my chest, and they tested my my fitness.
Wow.
But they did loads of other stuff. That was all there in Stockport. So
It's in Stockport?
It's all happening in at the Adidas place.
Oh, okay. I must look that up. I'll
He's
go
in
there.
DC now. That's
Yeah, he's in DC. Glad not to be there
Brilliant to be in. Dun 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 dun.
He's put. I was listening to the Car Salesman podcast when Alan brought up that he had never bought his wife flowers. I also have never and will never buy my wife flowers.
Whoa.
And here's why. They symbolise death. A gift that dies within a week of your purchase is just a slap in the face to the recipient. You're basically
Oh
saying,
no, I shouldn't have bought
care
Kath
about
that
you.
mayfly. That's going to go down badly.
You're basically saying I care about you for a week and that is all. If you buy this is my favourite bit. If you buy someone a watch or a pair of shoes, that is showing more love, as those gifts have a longer shelf life. And then, actually, my favourite bit is he puts, that is all.
If you buy someone a watch, or is he writing this under dictation from his partner? Yes, and put shoes and watch and what?
I like or a pair of shoes. I don't know if it makes you think. I don't think of those as like killer heels. When he says a pair of shoes, I'm thinking of some sturdy.
Oh, me too.
Like they're comfortable footwear, aren't they?
Yeah.
He's getting some.
I'm thinking
decent...
prison warden in Bad Girls.
Yeah,
yes.
Is what I'm thinking.
Well, maybe his partner is a prison warden or nurse of some kind.
Exactly.
Which is fine.
Well, I don't
like
agree with that.
I like the way he's thinking.
I don't, funnily enough, Frank.
You can't impose your own symbolism like that on things. I could say that flowers represent other women. They have a fragile beauty and a enchanting scent, but, you know, give it a few days and suddenly they seem withered and dreadful and smell horrible. Whereas the love for the person you bought them for goes on forever.
Yeah.
Good night.
I'm not sure how
Also,
that would
I
go.
don't
Hello,
really-
darling. I bought you a bunch of other women. What?
Yeah, for you a bunch of other women.
But don't worry, they'll wither.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could say it's comparing your love to the flowers.
Yeah.
Your love goes on forever. I'll say forever. Let's not go over the
But
top.
also, I don't understand where he gets this idea that because they don't last, because they're perishables, therefore they're not worthy as a gift.
Well, that's chocolate out.
That's dinner. Yeah, I expect she doesn't
Yeah.
get much of that.
Yeah, no chocolate. And
Yeah.
I like the way that we're
ice.
looking at you accusingly.
It does
Yeah.
feel like I'm on...
don't buy them an ice sculpture.
No.
No, that'd be gone.
Yeah, the
Puddles.
dog. Can't buy them a dog.
A dog.
What you're saying, our relationship's going to last, 10 to 14 years? I mean, where does it end?
Where do you stand
Divorce court.
on the gift of a tattoo, Stephen? That lasts for ages, doesn't it? Yeah.
Gift of a tattoo. How do you do that now? A surprise gift.
Just get a tattooist in.
Yeah, what you do is you get the old B.A. Baracus drugs in the food. And then when they wake up, they've got the wreck of the schooner Hesperus on their back. Anyway, where were we?
Well,
I love this show, you know that?
I was away last week. You're aware that I was away from last week.
No, you were missed.
I want to tell you something. I've been
Oh, God.
I've been hating myself ever since.
You're in prison.
I did a couple of
It's
tour
prison haircut,
shows.
Frank.
I did a couple of tour shows. You know, I'm
okay.
a stand-up comedian. You're aware of this.
Yeah, I must admit it slipped my mind.
Alan tickets still available. Cochrane, they call me. I did 2 shows at the Lowry, which is near my home in Manchester.
Oh,
just
yes,
down
I
the road.
stayed at the hotel. Lovely.
Nice, yeah. I didn't. I stayed in my own home, which is
Okay.
also lovely. But I've been loathing myself because on the Friday night in the sold-out
I've
show...
often been loathing myself after I've stayed in a hotel.
Oh, this was after I'd done the show.
Okay.
There was a man on the front row who I talked to about insurance, and whilst I was talking to him from the stage, I noticed that he didn't have a left hand. He had a metal claw, almost like I don't know how many fingers were on it. I'm talking to him, and I'm thinking, don't mention his hand, because it's kind of good to not talk about it. It makes me a bigger man to not... But he was on the seat right by the aisle, so I would say perhaps as much as 50% of the audience could see that he had a metal hand.
All right.
And I think I should have mentioned it. I think I should have
glint
said...
from the spotlight.
yeah, something like that. I think I should have said, what's the story here? Because it could have been amazing. He might
What
have
were you
told
talking
me
to
really-
him about?
I was talking to him about insurance. It was terrible.
It's a wonder it didn't crop up, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, he worked in insurance.
Did he?
Yeah, and I just wish that I'd said...
Maybe his hand was still in the till.
he might have had a good story about it. And I don't know whether or not I should be giving
No, I think
myself
you did. It's
a
a-
bonus
I think you did
point
right.
for
It's a
having not
difficult
mentioned it.
thing. I once said to a bloke in the front row, I said, anyone got any kids? You got any kids, mate? And he said, not alive, no.
Oh,
didn't.
no.
He did, and I thought, just say no. He could have just said no.
Yeah.
Don't ruin the night for me and for everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You've got to be careful.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't have.
That's been plaguing me. I mean, imagine how long Ross
metal
Noble would have talked to him for.
Yeah, but the metal claw as well. I mean,
You'd love one of those, Frank.
Can you get one of those?
Well, no, but you do spend a large proportion of your time inserting strange objects up your sleeves, pretending they're your hands.
Well, I do that. Let me give you an example. Bananas I often use.
Yeah.
Croissant.
Bread.
Two croissant makes a fabulous decaying lobster claw. No, I thought this bloke though. Do you get a choice? Can you have? Because most people just have like that looks like a hand,
Like a rubber hand.
Do they say like you can have flesh, hook, or sci-fi?
Yes, do they give you a
He went for
choice?
sci-fi.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'd have gone for a more mannequin vibe. I
Yeah.
think is what I'd have gone for.
I wish I'd asked him now. I really do.
No,
Good.
I don't know. But you'd think, as I say, when you talked about insurance, he must have gone to injury lawyers for us. What do they call?
Yeah.
What do they call for us? For you?
Yeah, I think there's lots of...
Well, really, they should be called for them.
You
That's-
tell them.
That's my view on. I can't say that apparently. And there are many other injury lawyers available.